For as long as I can remember, I've been absolutely mad for space. Seriously, I grew up believing that the year 2000 was going to be this threshold beyond which we'd be living like the Jetsons or something, right? And everything, I mean everything I saw fed into this notion up until about, call it 1986 or so. You see, I grew up with this. You Will Go to the Moon. This is one of the books I owned, and it's all about this kid who gets an opportunity to go on a rocket ship. I mean, look at this, look at this. Come on, they're putting the helmet on the kid for crying out loud, right? Kid gets to go on a rocket ship to the frickin' moon. Rocket, right? I mean, come on, look at this, look at this. I wanted this more than you can possibly know. Man, I mean, I had this when I was very small. And when I was a year and a half old, Star Wars was released, right? So everything said to me that I would be flying one of these when I was older. Everything told me that. I mean, for crying out loud, I can't even explain it to you if you weren't there. We're talking about like, the early 80s, even the late 70s, although I was really small. I mean, I turned 5 at the very end of 1980. So, yeah, that'll give you an idea of the time frame I'm talking about here. After the Star Wars trilogy, the first trilogy was finished, that wasn't the end. I mean, I believe it was 1984 when this movie came out. Explorers, right? It's Ethan Hawke's first movie. It's got River Phoenix in it. It's directed by Joe Dante, one of my favorite directors ever. Same guy who did Gremlins, same guy who did Inner Space, Matinee. Man, that dude's awesome, right? It's all about these kids who start getting these dreams of circuit boards. And they build the circuit boards, and they discover that what they have is a bubble of inertialess containment, I guess. It's airtight. And so they build their own spaceship, which I don't know if you can see it. It's that sort of, yeah, that thing. And they go meet the aliens that sent them the dreams. Oh, you have no idea how much I wanted that shit to happen to me. You have no idea how much I wanted that. Hell, I still have an old Explorers magazine, right? Okay, this thing is shredded, but it's an original. I mean, look at this stuff, right? I think that's Joe Dante right there. Yeah, but yeah, it is. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I wanted that to happen to me. And around about the same time, The Last Starfighter came out, about a kid who plays this video game and wins. And it turns out that the video game, which was like a spaceship combat flight simulator thing, was just a test to be able to go and do the real thing. It was like a recruitment tool. And so these aliens show up and say, "Hey, dude, you wanna go actually fly one of those?" And so, I mean, I grew up on this shit, right? And then the movie Space Camp came out, and that was a bit of a more realistic look at it. I mean, it was NASA, it was the space shuttle. Yeah, there was a pretty improbable robot that was part of this, but even so, I was going, ooh, I want that shit to happen to me, And everyone said the year 2000 is going to be this threshold that gets us to space. Well, it clearly wasn't. And the Challenger disaster happened around about the same time Space Camp came out, and then we had all these stupid wars, and now space is the last thing on anybody's mind. I mean, last I heard, a shuttle just went up, like, a few days ago? And it's like a complete non-issue. No one's talking about it. Not really. Not unless you're space mad like me. And even I'm like, another shuttle flight, but it's one I'm not on. When is it my turn, people? Now, I'm an artist. I'm not a mathematician. I never wanted to go into the military. So, I mean, because a lot of NASA pilots are from the military, and the rest of the crew, they're all scientists. I'm just not that person, I make pretty things. So my only hope to getting to space at this point is to come up with something that really hits, that make people go, ooh, and some big company wants to sign me, and, the next thing you know, I've got George Lucas's money. You know what I mean? What's he got, like $3 billion or something? Then I can do some space tourism. That would be awesome. And I mean, part of me wants to do like a charity blog TV to try and raise the money so I can go do space tourism. But then I think about poor people like Happy Cabby who's got, his cirrhosis of the liver, and I'm thinking that's money that can be spent on more noble pursuits, frankly. Not that space isn't a noble pursuit, but, my personal glory and wants can't take precedence over that shit. So, yeah. Needless to say, I've been space mad for as long as I can remember, and the fact that we are not a spacefaring society pisses me off. And, yeah, also kind of depresses me. Please take the time to rate this video. And hey, if you dig what I do, subscribe. You might also enjoy my webcomic, The Adventures of Kinneara Baxter. You'll find a link in the info bar, along with a link to my Zazzle store. Buy a t-shirt today. Hey, this is a nice computer you got over here. Be a shame if you didn't rate and something bad happened to it.